In this video, we will cover how to set up the VMAX 4000 4020 temperature input module. To begin, I'm going to navigate to the System Setup panel, and after doing so, I will navigate to the Temperature tab. Now in this particular VMAX hardware rack that I'm interacting with, it has one 4020 temperature input module. Each temperature input module can accept up to 15 individual thermocouples. This module is compatible with J, K, and T-type thermocouples. These can be selected on a channel-by-channel basis, strictly in software. There is no hardware reconfiguration or additional setup beyond the right mouse click and selecting the appropriate thermocouple type, as you can see. To turn a channel on, it's as easy as following our standard process where we right-click and select a mapped channel that we would like to map out. Now, if your channel does not exist here, your map channel list could be modified, or alternatively, you can freeform type this temperature as well. Now, by default, it will turn on sample rate to the fast rate, which I currently have set to 1000 Hertz. If I select the slow sample rate, it will default to the slower sample rate that is selected on your test setup tab, which is currently set to 10 Hertz. Now, if we're looking at thermocouples, there's nothing that hurts to oversample, though it will consume more disk space in order to do so. On something like a brake lining temperature or an ambient temperature measuring outside air temperature, something like 10 Hertz would be more than appropriate. So one thing that you will notice as I've turned a few channels on here is that any thermocouples that appear to be open are going to be highlighted in red. So currently channels 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all highlighted red. I do not have a thermocouple plugged into any of those. I do have something plugged into temperature 1. As you can see, there is a reading of almost 60 degrees Celsius. Now, one other thing that we can do here is we can select the units that we want to display our live display in here. So if I switch this to Fahrenheit, we'll see the temperatures change. If I go back to Celsius, we'll see them change back there. Now for thermocouples, this is all that you really have to do, is ensure that the sensor is wired correctly, that you have the polarity correct, and then simply turn it on and label the channel. There isn't any calibration to do beyond sending in your VMAX 4020 temperature input module at some regular interval, such as annual, to verify that the calibration constants are all correct. Thank you very much for your time.